Y'all are watching Fight Feed, and today I am going to be going through every single Jack Della Maddalena finish in the UFC. If you clicked on this video because you saw the thumbnail for this video and it made you very angry, I'm here to tell you that my thumbnail was just a rage bait because Jack Della Maddalena is absolutely not overrated in his striking abilities. He's honestly one of the best boxers in the UFC. Today, when I go through every finish that Jack has gotten in the UFC, I'm going to be showing you guys specific areas where I feel he is just levels above the other competition in the UFC when it comes to striking. So, for anyone who's a fan of Jack Della Maddalena, or maybe not, this video is for you guys so you can get to know one of the best strikers that we've been able to watch in the UFC. I had the pleasure of watching Jack when he first fought on Dana White's Contender Series against Ange Lusa, and what a barn burner that was. Jack is probably the most exciting fighter in welterweight, to be honest with you guys. One of my favorites to watch. The way that he is able to close the distance with his striking, get on the inside. And there's a quote from a great song, guys, it's Chief Keef song. And it says, Fredo in the cut, that's a scary sight. JDM in the pocket, that's a scary sight. And you guys are going to see why. So just taking a look at his record, though, 17 wins in a row. He lost his first two fights as a pro, and then he went on a 17-fight win streak, the last win being against Gilbert Burns. So just to show you how far he's come. I mean, he has 7 wins in the UFC and then 10 outside of the UFC. I think actually his 10th win was the Contender Series fight that got him in. So just an absolute streaking fighter. But getting into his finishes, he has 5 out of 7 of his UFC wins are finishes, which is a 72% finish rate in the UFC, which is actually pretty solid considering it's welterweight. I think that there's a lot of decision merchants that are within that division, and Jack is definitely not one of them considering he's got 72% finishes. So diving into the JDM finishes and giving you guys a breakdown, the first finish Jack had in the UFC was against Pete Rodriguez, and this was his first fight, his debut fight in the UFC. So what I want to show you guys here is, and you're going to see a lot of this as I go through this footage, but particularly what I want to show is how good Jack is at not only executing a stance switch, but using his stance switches to advance and to catch his opponent in different ways. A lot of the times he's using these stance switches when his opponent is getting up against the cage. But what I've noticed about Jack is his ability to switch from the ortho to southpaw or vice versa and do it in a way where he's using the initial stance to set up a combination with the other stance. So for instance, throwing out like a southpaw jab straight, right? To then land in an orthodox where he can land a lead hook in orthodox or even a rear hook in orthodox. And this is such an interesting thing for me as a fan of this because I have, done a lot of research on boxing and things of that nature, but I haven't ever even thought of how you could use that stance switching to actually set up combinations in the opposite stance, basically from a power perspective. But Jack is absolutely masterful at this. So getting into it though, I wanted to show a few things that really caught my eye with Jack. Is this guy's boxing is next level, and the reason why is because the fundamentals are tip top when it comes to JDM's boxing game. So this is against Pete Rodriguez. And guys, I only grabbed a few clips, and unfortunately, Jack is only in some of these fights, he's finishing them in the first round. So there's not a lot of tape there. But what I wanted to show in this is just some of these little tidbits of his game that I think make him a fantastic boxer, especially when it comes to MMA. But probably even just a technical boxer outside of MMA as well. So what you're going to see here is Rodriguez is throwing his own, I guess it's a lead hook, or sorry, I can't see where Rodriguez is. I think it's his rear hook there. But what you're going to see is Jack is not only is Jack going to trade with him here, Jack's not going to get hit by this punch. And the reason why is because Jack, this is where like fundamentals, the skills pay the bills. He's always got that opposite hand right where it needs to be to defend what's coming his way from the opponent. This is something that I think a lot of fighters, especially in the UFC, do not have down. And I know that it's different in the UFC and MMA because you're trying to maybe mix up other strikes, do takedowns, things of that nature. But in this case, Jack is doing it picture perfect, covering his chin where he's exposed so that he can trade and throw his own shot. Recently, like a fighter that we saw have trouble with this, like Cameron Simon, right? He went to hit or throw his own hook against Wellmaker, and Wellmaker basically just said, I'll eat yours. Let's see if you can eat mine. And unfortunately, in that knockout, Simon did not have that hand, that opposite hand there to protect, right? That's what Jack is doing here perfectly. So regardless, you've got that defense. But the other thing that I want to call out in Jack's game is his eyes. Just circle those real quick. Oh, fuck me. His eyes are always open, even in line of fire, right? Like, I'll just show you guys. Just keep close attention to his eyes here. Still open. Like, even as that punch connects. But look at this guard. Look at how he's able to basically stop this from connecting. But he connects on Pete right there with his hook, okay? And then his eyes. Like, this guy never closes his eyes. He's always watching what's happening, which I think is crazy, actually. As someone who doesn't box, like, I mean, just think about it. If you have something coming at your face, like, the initial response for any person or any human is to flinch. And this guy's just got his eyes open the whole time. He's a fucking psycho. So that's the first piece that I want to show. And now another element in the Rodriguez fight that I want to break down is Jack's jab. This guy is, not only does he have the technical boxing skills, the defense and all of the things that come with that, he also is always leading with a jab. Like, the guy is fantastic at just the fundamental throwing the jab out there. And I'm throwing, if it looks awkward, I'm not a southpaw, so throwing the right jab feels weird for me. I'm not Jack. I can't switch stances like that. So just watch this though. Like, watch how crispy this jab is. He just flicks it out there. And by the way, if you guys watch this fight in its entirety, can't show the entire fight here, guys, because YouTube will crack down on me, especially the UFC. But Jack's ability to snap that jab, I mean, he was snapping this jab from the start of this fight and literally not even throwing it like extremely hard. And I mean, it's fast, but it's just a flick. It's just to touch his opponent. And he uses it to, I think, keep his opponent guessing. And it also then uses it masterfully to set up other combinations. But this jab is what caused Rodriguez to be split open like almost immediately in the fight. And as this fight goes on, it just continues to get worse for him. So the jab is there the entire time for Jack, right? He throws it out there, connects. What I love in this sequence here is Jack is continuously going back to the jab, using that to set up not only his movement, but also to set up his other punches, right? So he's kind of flicking it out there. Like, that's a stiff one. Look at that. It's just perfect the way he whips that in. Boom. Connect. So he's got Rodriguez guessing, right? And then here it is again. He throws it out there. Okay. He sees, Rodriguez kind of stepping back. And this is doing this consistently. What it allows is that Jack is almost, now he has the ability to throw a feint and get Rodriguez in a shell position. Because what Rodriguez is going to start doing in this fight is, as that jab keeps landing on him, he is going to, when he sees that movement from Jack, if Jack feints a jab, he's going to kind of get ready to do exactly what he just did in this shot, like shell up almost. But here's where it gets really nice. Jack, this is another element of his game, guys. Look at how defensively aware he is in the octagon, especially in an exchange. I'm watching this, and you guys are going to be watching this very slow because I'm going frame by frame. But just look at his ability to throw that. He throws this jab here, and then he pulls it back, and he almost was going to go throw it again, but he sees Rodriguez is coming back with his own hook, which is more of like just an open hand. It almost looks open-handed, but Jack evades this, okay? Now watch this. This is like another beautiful element of his game. He's very precise with his striking and accurate as well. So Rodriguez misses. Jack just goes right back to the jab. This time, he throws it, but it's more of like a frame to set him up to land this shot here. Boom. Connects. So he's using the jab like in different ways. So and you're going to notice this in other fights of his that we're going to go through. He throws this jab out there, which is more so to gain range that distance that Rodriguez is currently and frame up a perfect left straight down the pike. Boom. Connects. Okay. And that sends Rodriguez backwards. He's back. And then right after that, guys, like I said, he's right back into that jab. Okay, so here we go again. Rodriguez is this is something that his game is frustrating, I think, for opponents. And he has Rodriguez like second guessing what strikes to throw. Like this is like I was going to throw something, I'm not sure what to do here. And look at how Jack is able to kind of move off to this side, keeps going this way. And now watch this. Perfect left straight. Boom, boom, boom. Drops him. And I think that the next best thing that Jack has is that finishing ability, right? So he just goes in there and goes for the fucking kill. And that's all she wrote against Rodriguez. So Jack's next fight that we're going to break down is the Ramazan Emeev fight. This fight was actually a very big fight for Jack because this Emeev guy has a background in wrestling. He's obviously Dagestani. Almost looks like he could be related to Ankalaev a little bit. And I think that this was like a fight for Jack to kind of prove that he has enough of a ground game to where he won't be completely nullified by someone who's a specialist on the ground, okay? So taking a look at this fight, Emeev came out with a huge fucking sunburn. I don't know like how or why that happened, but anywho, what I want to show you guys here in this first clip is Jack is in most of these fights, guys. He's starting in it's kind of a hit or miss between orthodox and southpaw. I believe Jack likes to start in ortho, and I think that he was heavily orthodox in this fight, particularly because my understanding is that he is an orthodox fighter generally. Like that is his normal stance, like when he first started fighting. And I think the reason he was ortho in this fight, particularly for most of the fight, is because he's afraid of that takedown shot. And I would bet that being, very comfortable in that orthodox stance, he probably feels more confident in being able to shuck off or keep balance when he's in that stance compared to that of southpaw. But he does still switch into southpaw, and you're going to see that. So to start this fight off, I want to show how Jack is able to, right here, he's in ortho, okay? So he throws a right straight, right? And he almost does it in a way where he's kind of advancing as he throws it. So I don't think his actual intention here is to land that straight. It's more so to get his opponent on the back foot and thinking that he's, trying to connect. And then he's able to advance in, okay? And this is where Jack does a masterful job, right? So he started here at orthodox. Watch as he, after throwing that straight, watch as he's in close, he's going to switch over, okay? So he goes right straight down the pike. He does like a little shimmy here. He throws that like lead hook, and then he brings that back leg here. He brings that over this way. See right there? Now it's coming forward. And then watch this. He's able to now transition fully he throws a lead hook on his right side, okay? And then look at that. He's in the southpaw stance. And so look, I know when we watch it in slow-mo, it's a lot there. But if you see it in real time, he just switches over, boom. And now he's back in southpaw. And now he's cut off this cage completely. He's got his opponent's back against the cage. And this is where Jack does his best work, if you've watched him fight. One thing I wanted to throw in here too, that I mentioned, and you guys have probably seen if you ever watched my breakdown of the Islam knockdown, but Jack is a master at also gaining this lead foot position here. You'll see he's always got this dominant foot position. So right here, he's on the outside of his opponent. Look at his other leg too. The opponent's back foot is stuck in the right against the cage, and Jack has his lead foot. Jack has complete control of the lead foot on that area right there. And this is a beautiful, beautiful way of setting things up. Because watch, so Jack's going to throw this jab, but he's stepping on the opponent's foot. And in a normal situation, that might allow Jack to connect with this rear hand. But I think his opponent was wise to it and is kind of circling the opposite way. But one thing I want to call out is that if his opponent were to try to go this way, he's tripping over that foot, right? So Jack has got him in a trap there, because it's like, normally I think the opponent is going to want to circle to the non-power hand. So his opponent might want to go this way because Jack's power hand is there, but he doesn't do it because Jack's foot is there. And I think that if he tried to, he's tripping, and Jack then has him in a compromised position. But here, Jack is actually forcing him to go towards the power hand, which I think is the whole point of, setting up that trap. Here's Jack again. So Jack is still in southpaw here. And what does he do? He grabs that foot right there. Okay. Now his opponent, this is actually a very well-timed takedown, I would say. So you're going to see right after Jack gets that foot locked there, the opponent shoots in for a nice takedown, and they end up on the ground. Now, this is something I wanted to show. In addition to the striking that Jack has that we all know is fantastic, check this out. This guy is in a deep submission at some point here on the ground. And this, if you watch the full fight, this exchange happens for about a minute or two. Jack just fucking out of sheer will scrambles out of this. And then watch this. This is the fight IQ of Jack. And you're going to see this in the Gilbert Burns fight as well. Watch how quickly he is cinching up the opponent's head for a knee, and bang, hits him right on the fucking button with that. It's a frustrating thing, but he is so good at, catching his opponents like that. And then here we go again, guys. Once again, Jack is showing those fundamental skills. He's getting that lead foot position or lead foot control. And what I love about Jack too is like he throws some of his combinations are not, they're not as standard as you would expect, like the standard 1-2. Like he does throw those, but really what he likes to do is he likes to throw a straight down the pike and then come around with like a hook or another straight. So like here, what he's doing, he's throwing a left straight, throwing a left straight down the pike at the opponent, and then watch this. He goes from southpaw, and now he's throwing a right straight while he transitions into ortho here. Okay, so that's there. So now he that's just another example of how he's able to just masterfully like change stances, but use his stance changing to advance on the opponent and get them on the back foot. And then now that he's in this ortho, he has this foot planted heavy, okay? And you'll see why. Watch how easily he's able to throw a nice counter shot and clip his opponent right on the side of the head. Boom. Clips him. And then look at this. Once again, eyes wide open. He's seeing everything that's coming his way. He literally evades a shot from his opponent and connects on the side of the head with that lead hook. And so that's where I was trying to explain too. When you look at the way he is able to switch stances in that manner. So like he goes from here, and then this is just a preview for you guys. We're going to get into some more of this with Jack, but what you're going to see here is right after he lands that hook on the opponent's head, the guy mixes in these body shots so beautifully. Like watch this body shot right into the liver area, like back here, right into the liver area. Okay, so now this is, I think, the finishing sequence. So Jack goes lead foot. He's on the inside now. He's going to go, wow. Guys, so as I'm watching this is just even more like crazy to see. So what Jack does so well here he takes that step forward, okay? He takes a step forward with his lead foot, and he's feinting the right straight from the orthodox stance, okay? He's feinting this down the middle, like got his hand up, ready to go. And watch what he does. He plants. He's still got that hand right here up in the air. So his opponent's watching this. Now watch this lead hook come around to the body. His opponent is literally still waiting for that right hand. And Jack lands this lead hook right on the money spot. That's the liver right there, baby. And he's still feinting this right hand, and his opponent is still watching the right hand, not even aware that this is connecting on his body yet. So Jack does that, and he immediately comes back over the top with that right hand. His opponent's wise to it because Jack really, was selling that home to him that he's going to throw that. But see this. So Jack's in orthodox, right? Now watch this. He lands that overhand right. He's still in orthodox here. He throws a lead hook to the head. Bang. Connects. Okay. Throws the lead hook again. Bang. Connects. And then this is where Jack is just like, this is the best shit to watch of him. Got his opponent against the cage. He's landed 2 lead hooks to the dome. He goes right back to that body, and he's right in the money spot, right? So he goes around the guard, bang, into the liver. His opponent literally bends down and bends over because he's in pain. Okay. Jack gets him in a tie clinch here, goes to throw the knee. His opponent's hurt from that liver shot. Bang. And bang. And he ends up getting him out of there. So that is just like another like picture perfect finish from him, showing you guys exactly what I mean by these high level boxing techniques, his ability to mix up these shots from head to body, body to head. Next fight, JDM versus Danny Roberts. Okay, so this fight, guys, was another fight where it ended in the first round, and it was a masterclass performance from Mr. Della Maddalena. So this is something that I was going to say in my last part, but here is a combo that Jack fancies quite a bit. He's in the southpaw stance in this fight. And what he likes to do is he likes to throw that straight down. And look at that. He connects right on the chin of Danny Roberts. There. Okay. So he loves to do that. He throws the straight. And the lead hook right after. Boom. And what's really cool about Jack that you guys are also going to see in the Randy Brown fight is he doesn't have the craziest of reach. Like his reach, I think, is 73 inches and he is 5'11". So his reach is 2 inches longer than his height, which is a good build for boxing. But look at how he's able to like cover distance with his frame. Like he takes these wide leaping steps and is able to cover a great deal of distance, even if his opponent is able to, have a longer reach and use the outside. He's able to close distance very well. So here we go. He goes straight to the lead hook and just connects right on the chin. Great combination from Jack there. And then once again, I just want to show you guys, like continuously show you this, the jab. He's always using this jab to set up his other shots. And this is a crispy jab. I mean, he's sending his head down when he connects with that one. So solid jab from him. And right here. And then right here, Jack is using the jab perfectly to set up his next shot. Okay, so he's got Danny on the back foot. He throws this little jab out there that Danny kind of parries here. And Jack's foot, look at where he's at. He's got the power on that foot. He's going to transfer over to this. Bang. You see how he's able to do that? It's like, it's so like, it's nuts. Like he's able to get this foot on the inside here. Right there. And then he plants and he just fucking goes. And that's a perfect shot right in the eye, Danny Roberts. And this is another thing I love from Jack, right? So when he gets someone against the cage, he doesn't headhunt. He mixes his shots so gracefully. So like here, he goes for the head again, which rightfully so. But then watch this this lead hook that he throws. He throws it right into the solar plexus or whatever the fuck you call it, right there. Okay, and like that is the punch, guys. If you don't know, that's the one that knocks the wind out of you. If you ever played football, you get hit like right in this area of the chest. But he hits him there, and then he gets Danny Roberts, trying to kind of like initiate some type of grappling. But then here, look at this dude. Look at how fucking mean JDM is. He just throws another, and now he started this in southpaw, guys. He's in southpaw there. And now look, he's stepping back. He gets right back into orthodox, and he's throwing another shot from a different stance now in a matter of like, this is like milliseconds that he's able to switch into this stance, connect with a lead hook from the orthodox stance on the ear of Danny Roberts. It's crazy. It's like the way he's able to just not only switch stances so quickly, but then switch stances and have the power advantage in the new stance. But right after this, right, he connects with that shot. Danny Roberts is now going back to the head to cover up, right? Because he just got connected. He's like, where the fuck is it coming from? And JDM is eyes to the target, goes right into the body, digs a mean left or right, and then he comes right around and hits the left hook as well in this spot, right on the liver. So just like mean boxing. Then he comes right back around with a straight on the head. He's got Danny Roberts in all kinds of trouble there. He's continuously just going like this because he doesn't know what to do. And then just to send it off, he frames him up here, and he throws. Now he's kind of back in the southpaw stance. He throws this mean rear uppercut to the dome. Just literally the shot placement, the way he's able to connect on the chin with that angle it's graceful, guys. I don't know what other words to use for this. So he gets that, and then he goes right back to the body with the same shot, okay? So he goes rear uppercut, bang. And then he goes rear hook right to the solar plexus again. And this is all in the matter of like a few seconds. And then he finishes it off with a hook on the other side, just breaking the block. And right away, he's coming back around with another one, guys. This dude is and he goes into the body there, which that one was kind of blocked. But it's showing you how he mixes up these attacks so quickly. It's something to watch, man. And then, so this is another thing too, is that his fight IQ and his awareness, right? He, like I said, he's always watching. So you're going to see him here. He's going to land this uppercut right on the money, send him back up. And then this is the craziest part of this sequence. So he lands this uppercut. And now watch this, guys. He sees Danny Roberts continuing to kind of drop down. He throws this knee, connects perfectly on the side of the head, and then throws another punch to finish that off. And they break away. That sequence is really what sets up the next element here for JDM. So once again, he leads with the straight down the pike, gets him on the back foot, he steps him inside. And now Danny Roberts doesn't know where the hell JDM's throwing from. But right there, because usually JDM will go to the body here, but he connects on the chin right there and just floors him. He throws some heavy elbows on the ground. What ends up happening here is I think they have a bit of a ground exchange. for like a minute or so, and then they get back up. And then this is just another thing here for you guys. Look at Jack on the feet. Look at how when his opponents are exchanging or throwing at him, look at how his guard is. He's perfectly defending himself, making sure he can get out of range from the opponent, and also keeps that high guard at all times. Shoots the takedown. I think that they had like a couple of exchanges like that on the feet, but this is like right as he's about to end the fight. Now this is just like defensive skills on fleek here from Mr. Della Maddalena. So Jack, watching his opponent, he sees Danny Roberts is loading up to throw that lead hook. Watch how Jack slips under. Okay. And he throws his own rear hook in return because he's in southpaw here. Watch how he turns this over too. Look at how his hips go from here. And you're going to see the other side of his shorts here. He turns that hip over perfectly. And from this angle, guys, it's hard to tell where it lands. I'm inclined to believe that it landed on the chin because you see Danny Roberts' head cocked downwards, but it could have also landed right in the chest, right in the solar plex again. He lands that shot, and instantly he's back. He's throwing he redistributes his weight, and he throws another hook right on the chin, goes right through the guard. That hurts Danny Roberts. Now watch, he finishes this off with a beautiful rip to the body. Just picture perfect, like right in that gut area. Shoot, and you see, watch, he lands that one, and watch Danny Roberts' body language when he lands this. Hits him right on the gut. Okay. Jack's still in southpaw here. Danny's grabbing his fucking stomach like, oh, shit, bro. Fuck. Oh. Jack throws that straight, hits him on the top of the dome ski. Now watch this. Jack comes up, and he's just perfectly lands a lead uppercut. Watch how he's able to, like, if he just threw that, like, with no thought, it probably hit the top of the head. But he, like, switches the angle and crushes that chin. And then he swings back around with a hook. So he goes uppercut here, bang, hook. The hook kind of misses there. He throws that other uppercut, just ever so slightly connects right on the chin, and that's enough for Danny Roberts. He drops, and look at this. He's after he lands that one, Roberts going down. Jack swings right back around, right to the solar plex. Right into the fucking dude, this is brutal, man. He wants to hurt his opponents. Like, to see him do how he does that, it is just wow. This is going to be a lot longer than I expected, but I wanted to break this down. So JDM versus Randy Brown. This fight is a very interesting fight, guys, because if you saw Randy Brown and like what he's recently been able to do, he's a great striker. And the reach disadvantage that Jack had in this fight was significant. I think it was a 5-inch reach disadvantage. So in this fight, Jack starts off orthodox, and what I wanted to show off is just his ability and like his ability to continue moving forward, but also staying smart by using feints, using different movements back and forth, advancing, kind of dipping backwards. But right here, he's using a perfect parry, right? Look at how he's able to parry the jab of Randy Brown. Just knowing that he's the longer fighter, he's able to parry that jab nicely. Okay. And then I love what he's mixing in here, knowing that Randy Brown's going to have this ability to advance quickly because Brown's style is very long and quick on the outside. So Jack is waiting for him to plant that foot so he can land a heavy lead leg kick, which is what he lands right there. That's kind of the first one that shocks Randy Brown. I will say Randy Brown had a lot of success in this fight with Della Maddalena. He was able to still land on him. But Jack just kept his wits about him, especially defensively. And this is one thing I wanted to show is Jack uses this stance, right? So he'll switch stances, or he'll kind of feint attacks with a stance just to set himself up in the next stance. So right here, he's throwing this punch. This first punch is kind of he's trying to smack the guard of Brown down, right? Because that way he can connect. But he throws this straight, and I really don't think he wanted to connect there. I think he throws that straight, and maybe he did want to connect and he just missed, but I think he throws that because he's gauging this distance, and you're going to see this here. He does it again. He throws the jab to the body there. Throwing the leg kick again. He did so he doesn't do that thing again. So I think that one was more of like a miss actually. But you'll see at one point in this fight, he throws that same combo where he like almost intentionally misses in orthodox to set up the southpaw attack. So, he's edging closer. He's trying to get Brown, off guard here. Throws that lead leg kick again. Right? It's always as Randy Brown's kind of settling in, right? So Randy comes around. We'll just show you that again. So watch as Randy sets the weight down on that foot. Jack is gearing that bitch up. So this is where it is. So what I was trying to show you guys in a second ago, Jack throws that same combo. He throws the jab and the straight from orthodox, but I think it's kind of in a way to miss, because watch what happens here. Jack now has set his feet perfectly. He's closed this distance against the cage, and he's set his feet perfectly where this right leg is going to now be the lead foot, so that he can now make his attack from southpaw, and Randy Brown has nowhere to go. So it was like, this is like really, in my opinion, this is like a snake charmer. He's trying to make Randy go on the back foot with the ortho and switch instantly into southpaw. And this is where the money is made, boys. He throws a beautiful rear hook there that Randy's kind of able to block, but then he misses the jab. So Randy did a good job here, trying to get out of here. See, he's trying to evade, but now watch Jack. He's watching this the entire time. Randy starts to get up, and Jack has just perfectly positioned his body to where all the weight is here, and he lands a monstrous lead hook right on the money. Hits him right on the chin. Like, look how precise that is. And so just watch this again. Jack sees him start to frame up and try to get out of there. And he plants this foot down. And then bang. Sends him up. It knocks his equilibrium off. Jack just reloads the same punch. Throws it again. Connects again. And you're going to see Randy, he's got the chicken dance. He's doing the chicken dance. He lands literally on his head. Like, look at that. He's on his fucking head. And then Jack just does his thing here. Throws some hard shots down. And this is like the fight IQ of Jack too, right? So digging into this, you're going to see him just continuously, punch him. And then he gets these hammer fists off, but then he goes in for the rear naked. And he finishes the fight. Stellar. Randy Brown is not that's not an easy guy to do that to. And then finally, guys, this is Jack versus Gilbert. So in this fight, there was a lot of, back and forth. What I think a lot of people have gotten wrong about this fight is they think that Jack was getting dominated, and he wasn't. This is the start of round 3. Jack is just teeing off. He's catching Gilbert. He's mixing up the strikes beautifully right into the moneymaker there, the bread box, if you will, or pasta pocket. I like to call that the pasta pocket. Then he comes up, bang, bang. Look at that. He's southpaw, so he's throwing the rear uppercut. Oh, it's so perfect. Rear uppercut to the lead hook. Boom, right on the chin. And Gilbert is just dead body, bruh. He had Gilbert hurt badly in round 3, guys, to the point where Gilbert does like some very desperate takedowns. But right there again, Jack just mixes in that beautiful rear uppercut to the lead hook, and it connects every time. And then he hurts him here with a straight on the chin. And Gilbert takes him down, okay? So then, as we know, Gilbert takes him down. This was a masterclass performance from Jack. You guys got to watch. So he is down on the ground. He's got a minute and a half left. You got DC right in his obituary on commentary, as DC normally does when people are getting out wrestled. Jack rolls out of this, but watch this fight IQ, guys. He rolls out, sets up an ortho, and he just blasts the knee right away and just bang right on the fucking chin, dude. What a beautiful shot. And then, that is definitely like Gilbert's, shooting for that desperate takedown, but he got clocked in the face. He's stiff right there for a second. He drops down, and then Jack is just right on him, man. Like a fucking Tasmanian devil. Just boom. And these are all so precise, guys. These are all on the chin or the back of the ear. But like one of these that I saw landed really solid. You'll see. That one is beautiful right on the chin. That one's back of the head, or back side of the head with the ear. And then this one right here, I think it is. Oh, yeah. Look at this hook. Right to Gilbert's nose. It shoots blood out. Boom. And then Jack just keeps going. Just literally one of the best performances. And actually, if you guys ever watched that fight live, that was the Miami card. Jack, I think, probably destroyed so many people's parlays because a lot of people had Gilbert winning that fight on their parlays, and Jack came out and he decided to ruin it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It ended up being a lot longer than I expected, but I wanted to break down the striking of Jack Della Maddalena. He is one of the best that we've had in the UFC, and I'm actually so happy I've been able to watch him. I'm very excited for his fight this weekend when he fights Belal Muhammad. We shall see what happens, but I think that watching all that tape, there ain't no way Belal Muhammad is going to outbox Jack when it comes time for them to fight this Saturday. Make sure you guys give this... if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, and make sure you also subscribe to Fight Feed so you can stay on top of all the MMA content that I will be posting. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.